linked up here for ones that we've been getting frequently from students. If you have other ones, you can enter them into the Q&A that you see at the bottom of Zoom, and then we can answer them. There's everybody. Yay.
Hi, everybody.
So if you're just joining us, all the counselors are here. We're very excited to see you. We have a couple of questions we've been getting a lot from students that are posted up here. But if you have others, you can enter them into the Q&A feature that you see in Zoom, and then we'll answer them for you. All right, so one of the first ones that we've gotten is about electives. So students are asking which electives count as college prep electives. The great news about this is that almost every single class that we have at Del Mar is a college prep electives. The ones that don't count for that would be something like peer tutoring or avid tutoring or a student assistant position. So for example, like foods, that does count as a college prep elective. The older you get in high school and the more electives you take, you'll likely end up with a lot more than just the one that's required, which is great. So you have the opportunity to take a lot. So a couple students have asked us if this plan that they're creating today is it, if this is the last time that they have to choose their classes, and the answer is no. This is kind of a jumping off point for all of us as counselors to talk with our freshman students about the graduation requirements and what classes they would like to take to meet those requirements. So right now we're mostly using it to start building your sophomore year schedule. That April 2nd deadline that we have posted applies to that sophomore year schedule. If you want to change what level of a class you're taking, maybe the elective or the type of PE that you're doing, just let us know by April 2nd, which is the Friday before spring break. And then we'll meet multiple times with our students over the next couple of years to talk about the junior and senior year classes that you might like to take. So the next question we have is, does digital photo count as a visual and performing art in the A through G requirements, and how many years do we need in that category? Great news. Digital photography, yes, does count as a visual and performing arts. It also counts as a CTE, or career technical education class. So it will default to whichever category you need to meet, but it is eligible to earn credit in both of those areas, which is great. Students are required to take 1 year of a visual and performing art. Everybody takes one. And then after that, you have a choice. You can either take a second visual and performing art or a CTE class. It doesn't have to be, you know, back-to-back 2 years in a row. You can spread it out over the time that you're in high school, but at least one visual performing art. The next question is about the IB program. Students are asking if it requires 3 HL and 3 SL classes. Yes. It does. And so if there are any students out there who are thinking about doing the IB diploma but aren't sure, you have questions about it, Mrs. Olamet is in charge of the whole program, and she is awesome. She meets with students and their families individually to go over their academic plan. So we work closely with Mrs. Olamet to make sure that students have all the classes that they need to meet the diploma. The classes for the IB diploma itself don't actually start until the junior year, so you definitely have time to think about it. But if it's something that you're interested in, definitely reach out to her so that you can set up a time to meet. Counselors, any other items that you want to add on some of the topics or questions or things that you've heard from students?
Yeah, I'd like to think of, you know, when we meet with you guys and we're putting in classes for your sophomore year. Like Ms. Guy said, that does have a deadline of April 2nd to make any drops or switches to classes. So just watch out for that April 2nd deadline. It's very important, and it's important to kind of see where you're going with your classes. That's why it's so important to develop a four-year plan with your counselor. You can always see your junior and senior year as a rough draft, because you can always change those classes. It's just your sophomore year that you need to be careful with, because there is an April 2nd deadline. So just let us know, be in touch.
So another question that we have from a student is how they should pick their classes. So we have this rather long presentation that we've split up over the last couple of weeks to help students with choosing their classes. So one of the first things, if you're kind of feeling stuck or you're not sure where to begin, is to look at this presentation that's posted in the class of 2024 Google Classroom. You'll be able to see all of the course pathways that are offered. Scroll through a couple so you can see. These are all the classes that are available to you by subject area to meet the requirements. So you can review what your options are to meet all the subject area requirements. And then to find out even more about those courses, all the teachers at Del Mar have created this rad document that's a hyperlinked document. So you'll see all of the courses that are available to you spread out across the years that you can take them. So let's say you have a question about whether you want to take English 2 or English 2 ICAP. You can click on this link and it'll take you directly to that course. And here the teachers have entered information about how much homework you should expect in between classes, what type of topics you're going to be learning about, any questions that they get from students a lot, and major assessments and assignments that you can expect. And so this is really going to give you a great idea of what you'll be experiencing in the courses that you're thinking about taking. When you're ready, you'll start to enter those into your Aries portal. And so it'll look something like this over the next couple of years in high school for the courses that you're planning to take. So you have directions in here about how to log into Aries and how to choose your classes. And then you'll be able to set them up for which grade levels you want to take each class to meet the requirements. When you're finished with that, this is the best part of the whole process. You'll get to meet one-on-one with your counselor to talk about all the classes that you've picked. So you'll see these little bit.ly links everywhere. Each counselor has one and it will take you directly to our appointment calendar. So you'll be able to see, we've started meeting with students this week. If you haven't yet, you definitely still have time. We're continuing the rest of this week and next week, and we have enough meetings scheduled to meet with every student. So if you don't see availability with your counselor coming up for the rest of this week, go ahead and click on this link and it'll take you into the following week. And you'll see academic plan meetings that you can choose. And once you click save, it'll automatically put it onto your Google Calendar for you. So then you have an appointment and you know you can click on the Zoom link and meet with your counselor. What else?
I was also getting a lot of questions the last couple of days regarding government and economics. So I just wanted to remind students that those classes are semester-long classes. They're the only classes on campus that we have that are semester-long. And so in the past, we've always held those classes just for seniors. You guys are actually our first class where we're moving those classes up to the sophomore year. And so keep in mind that I know that you guys are seeing like an empty slot in the spring after you select government. And so keep in mind that we're going to be scheduling you guys into government and economics once the fall, or actually this spring. And so you guys won't see it until next year when you guys get your schedule, but some of you guys will start off with economics and some of you will start off with government, and then it'll switch at the semester, but you will keep your same teacher.
So the next question we have for languages, it says that 2 years are required, but the options are for 4 years. Yes, so 2 years of a language are required, both for graduation and for college eligibility. For students who choose to continue on with taking language, we have plenty of it for you. So one of the reasons students will choose to take 4 years of a language is that they are doing the IB diploma. and they want to complete the requirement for that subject area. Some students really love learning language. It's a subject that they really like and they want to continue. One other benefit is that when students get to the more advanced level of a language, it's possible to earn what's called the State Seal of Biliteracy. So this is a combination of your grades in English and a language other than English. And it's an actual seal that goes in your high school diploma. You get to wear a medal at graduation. It's a big deal. And it means that you're literate in 2 different languages, which is amazing. So 2 years are required, but you certainly can continue with language if you'd like to. Someone's asking about what happens if with grading. So we talked about earlier in the presentation the difference between the progress notices and the grading periods that we have. So we can go back to that. So you had your 6-week progress notice and your 12-week progress notice was just mailed home. So a lot of you probably got that in the mail. The 6 and 12-week grades are not permanent. They're not final. We send those home to make sure that families know how their students are doing, that we can check for eligibility for participating in things like sports and activities, having a work permit. In another 5 weeks or so, we're coming up on the end of the semester. And so for a freshman, you will take your first set of freshman finals the last 3 days of the semester, and then you'll get your first set of final grades that we'll post on your transcript. So this will be the opportunity for you to start earning credits towards graduation and to get your first set of grades. So if you're currently earning a grade that you are not satisfied with and you want to pull it up, there's a lot of resources to get help with that. Your teachers have virtual office hours. We have a weekly homework center every Wednesday. The information for that is posted in your class of 2024 Google Classroom, also in your teacher classrooms. So there's definitely time to get those grades pulled up if you're feeling like you're struggling or you need that help. What else? If you do have questions, if any students came in late or came in after they checked in with advisory, you can submit any questions that you have to the Q&A. We will be the only ones who see them, so please feel free to ask any questions that you have, and we can answer them for the group to make sure everybody gets the information. So in terms of graduation, if you do not pass classes at the semester coming up, every class that you're taking right now as a freshman student is meeting a graduation requirement. So it's really important that you pass your classes. If you don't pass them at the semester, you will have to take them again to meet those requirements. There's a couple ways to do that, which you'll talk about with your counselor when you have these academic plan meetings. It's a great time for us to check in about it. One of the options is summer school. So this happens in the summer after we finish the school year. Spots are not always guaranteed for freshman students. Priority is given to older students who have less time to do it. I need to get it for graduation. The other opportunity is to take a night school course. And so this would be in addition to your regular Del Mar schedule. And students would be able to start taking those classes in their junior or senior year. So we always recommend do the best you can, pass your classes the first time. You know, you've put 12 weeks into this semester, you're almost there. So passing them the first time is your best bet.
So Ms. Geis, there was another question in the chat, and I think it was, I'm not sure if this person's asking about or is referring to the misalignment and the what I wrote into the chat earlier, but I know for some of you guys who may be considering maybe doing the IB diploma, we're recommending that you guys reach out to Ms. Alamet so that you can set up a meeting with your family and her for sometime this year. And then what usually happens is if you decide that that's what you want to do, then she'll review your 4-year plan with you. And if she makes any adjustments, which she normally does, then she'll reach back out to your guidance counselor and she'll let us know so that we make those adjustments in Aries so that you're all set up for the next 4 years because you're looking at doing the IB diploma program. If you guys want another meeting with us afterwards, that is fine. Just reach out to us, just send us an email and your counselor will schedule a meeting with you guys to check back in with you guys.
Someone's asking if we have to take the IB or the AP program. You definitely don't. We recommend for all students to try at least one class. to challenge yourself a little bit throughout high school. We have courses in a lot of different subject areas. So if there are certain classes that you've really enjoyed in the past, maybe it's English, maybe it's math, those are great areas to consider challenging yourself if it's something that you really like to learn. You definitely do not have to, but we recommend it for students. The other question is that, you know, you don't have to take the full IB diploma, the whole set of courses in order to earn the IB diploma. It's not an all or nothing thing, which is great. So if you want to take 1 or 2 classes, you're welcome to do that. If you want to take the full diploma, that's another option as well. So there's definitely flexibility based on what students want to do and what fits best for you.
Yeah, I'd also like to add that there's a lot more students on campus who after 4 years just end up taking maybe 1 or 2 IB classes compared to students who actually do that full diploma. So the students who do the full diploma is really limited to maybe just like 15 to 20 students on campus. And so it's basically, you have to opt into that. And so it is a lot of work. But again, we just recommend that you meet with Ms. Alamet if you're having questions about the full diploma program, so that she can meet with you and your family, so that you guys understand, like, you know, what it entails, because she does like to set up your 4-year plan really early, like during your freshman year, if that is something that you want to commit to. You don't have to commit to it though as a freshman. If you're looking at it, maybe doing it, you know, you decide like as a sophomore, you can, but again, I think it's best to reach out to Ms. Alamet so that you get a plan in place, because sometimes what you take as a sophomore does have an impact on the courses that you're able to take as a junior and senior.
We have another question about finals. They're coming up in December. So that last week before we go on the winter break, December 16th, 17th, and 18th, that's a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Students will have finals in the classes that they're taking. And so those are the end of semester exams that all students take. In the next few weeks in advisory, especially, we're going to have some finals prep to help, especially the freshmen. This is your first time going through it. So some recommendations for study tips, reaching out to your teachers, and your class teachers will also give you more information about exactly what to expect for your finals, whether it's an exam, an essay, a presentation, a project. But that information will be coming from your teachers in these last couple weeks of the semester. Somebody else asked what ERWC means for English. Expository Reading and Writing Curriculum. Very long name for what we consider to be kind of the equivalent of English 4. So it's that last year of English that students need to take to graduate. It will meet that requirement for you in your senior year. The question about IB diploma requirements, there are groups of subjects that students need to meet. And so what Ms. Alamet does when she meets with students is she'll talk to you about the options available to you to meet each subject area, and then you will have some choices in which classes. So there's a couple courses that meet in multiple subject groups, which is great. But she will meet with students to determine which classes from each group they want to take as part of their 4-year plan. And then she works with us as the counselors to make sure that you're scheduled into the right ones that you chose. Someone's asking if there's an opportunity to take more than 7 classes. No, 7 is the maximum number of classes that students can take. We have a lot to choose from, so sometimes it's hard to pick. But 7 classes is a full course load. So you're in class from 7:40 until 2:10 right now in distance learning. When we're on campus, our first period actually starts at 7:20. So it starts earlier and your day goes until 2:30. So it's a long day. It's 7 classes that you're needing to keep track of. So that's the maximum number that students can take. Not a requirement. Some students choose to take 7 because they're a part of a program like AVID or ROTC or band or something they want to do for all 4 years, and that takes up a space in their schedule. Other students do it because they are taking classes that they need to make up for graduation. It just depends on what your plan is as a student. Someone's asking if ICAP and IB are the same thing. They are not. The ICAP courses are what we consider preparation for the International Baccalaureate or IB classes, but they are not a requirement. So for example, if you are taking English 1 right now and you're interested in taking IB language and literature as a junior, you absolutely can. That's open to anybody. So it's not a requirement. If I can find English fast enough, maybe I can. It's not a requirement to do that, so you have the choice. The ICAP courses are great preparation if that's something that you are considering doing, but you have the option coming from either level of a class to take IB. Someone's asking about an updated list of courses available at Del Mar and colleges over the summer. So we can start with Del Mar classes first. We took a look at our course description document that we have created with our Del Mar teachers. All the courses that are available to students are listed on this document in the years that they're available for students to take. So the teachers have worked really hard, because they're awesome, to fill out the information here. So when you click on a link for any class that you're interested in, it will take you directly to that course description, where teachers have put information about what topics you're going to learn about, how much homework you can expect, or what time commitment you need, differences between the levels of classes that you might be thinking about. So this is a really good place to start to do some of that research. And then for colleges over the summer, I think you may be asking about taking possibly integrated math 3 over the summer. Students are able to do that between the sophomore and junior year if they are trying to get into a higher level math. In the spring of your sophomore year is when students will work with their counselor to get signed up for those courses. So community colleges will publish their summer schedule, usually in the spring, and then students can choose which class works best with their schedule over the summer, and then their counselor will help them to sign up for it. In terms of which community college to attend, we have a lot of great ones that are in the area. Under normal circumstances, I think a lot of students will choose the community college that is closest to their house, to where they live, so it's easier for them to get there. And it also depends on what time the course is offered. So if students are working over the summer or doing sports or any other activities, they'll choose the class time that works the best for them. But we have a list of any courses that will meet that IM3 requirement to make sure that students are taking the right ones, so we can help with that.
So, guys, I'd also just like to add, so keep in mind, guys, when it does come to community college classes over the summer, counseling department usually gets together and does a series of workshops for students in the spring and March to get you guys ready for that. And so we do have deadlines that you do have to meet with that. And so, you know, we just try to avoid students trying to sign up at the last minute. I know in the past, we've had a couple of students try to sign up just, you know, a week before the class was going to start. And that doesn't really work out for community college, because students register for the class at least a month in advance. And so anyways, if you are interested in that, just keep an eye out, and we'll be doing some workshops, either counselors or Miss Knight, on how to register for those classes, probably sometime in March or April.
Let's see, what other questions do we have here in our Q&A? In terms of, someone's asking about whether IM3 is the only course that's available over the summer. In terms of advancing, yes. Some students will choose to take, you know, I've had students that have done like criminal justice courses in the summer, or just think that they're interested in. High school students are welcome to take community college courses while they're still in high school. It's a great opportunity to start earning some college credit. There's a lot of different courses that community colleges have that we are not able to offer at the high school level, so that's a great opportunity. One thing that we have is a partnership with West Valley College, and that's specific to our school district. So students in Campbell Union High School District can take West Valley College courses that are offered through their site. So starting in your sophomore year, you'll be able to do that. Coming up this next semester, we have a public speaking course, we have a kinesiology course, and high schools throughout the district have other offerings as well. So that's a good opportunity to do it during the school year, but those courses are available to high school students.
There was another question, Ms. Geis, about what the difference is between AP and IB. So IB we're an IB school, so we offer a lot of IB classes here on our campus. IB stands for International Baccalaureate. The main difference between those classes and AP stands for Advanced Placement, is AP classes. We only have a couple on our campus. We only have like 2 or 3. And those classes are just year-long courses, and they have a test in May that you can take. You don't have to take it, but you can choose to take it. And if you do pass that exam, you will get college credit for that class in college. When it comes to IB exams, only the classes that are 2-year classes are the ones that'll be able to get you college credit. The single year or the SL classes do not offer, the colleges don't recognize that as giving you college credit here on the West Coast.
Let's see. Someone's asking if they have to take pre-calculus. No, you do not. 3 years of math are required. We recommend that students take 4 if they can. Any course that students take above a minimum graduation requirement is going to count as elective credit, which you do need as part of graduation. So, you know, no matter what students are planning to do after high school, whether they're thinking of community college, 4-year college, working, we highly recommend that students take a 4th year of math. And colleges and universities recommend it as well. It's great preparation to be ready for college level math. It definitely helps as part of the admissions process to be competitive, but we've had students that choose not to take a math in their senior year, and they have over a year of a gap with no math instruction. And it can be really tough when they get to the college level to enter directly into college level math and be successful with it. They do have a lot of support available at the community college and college level for that. But we highly recommend that students get that practice and keep up their skills while they're in high school.
Ms. Geis, just going back really quick to the community college classes, I just want to make sure students and parents are they all understand that not all classes can be taken at the community college. So for instance, our district has a policy that states that our students can't supplant Del Mar classes or any of our district classes, such as like English 3 or your senior level English, and try to take that early so you don't have to take that as a junior or senior. The district does not allow that. And so the only subject that you can supplant our classes is gonna be in math, because we do realize that, you know, students wanna be more competitive when it comes to college applications and trying to get into, some students maybe start at IM1 and they're not gonna be able to get into AP Calculus. And so those students are allowed to take the community college math classes, but students have to get permission from your guidance counselor. And again, they can't be a class that we offer, such as like US history, English 3, or biology. It has to be a class that we do not offer.
And then someone is asking the deadline for choosing classes. So counselors are meeting with students, our freshman students this week and next week to go over our academic plans. So in the last few weeks, you've been getting your information, you've been doing some research on what classes you would like to do. So if you haven't had an opportunity to set up a time with your counselor to meet, please make sure that you do so. You can click on these bit.ly links that are in the presentation posted in your class of 2024 classroom to set up a time with us. And if you have questions, you're not sure about which classes you want to take, that's totally okay. That's exactly what these meetings are for. So please make sure that you sign up for a time because we really love this part of being counselors, of getting to meet with students. Normally it's in person, but we're making it work in the online environment. So we look forward to meeting with everyone. If you have other questions, please feel free to submit them in the Q&A. Otherwise, teacher outreach advisory is over. If you need to go teacher office hours or go do other things, you're welcome to do that for today. Counselors will hang out for a little bit to answer any other questions that you have. But we will post this video, the recording of our Q&A today, in your class of 2024 Google Classroom, which is also in there with this presentation that we're looking at right now.
If you haven't made an appointment with us, please do so. Like Ms. Geis was saying, it's our favorite part. So we'd love to meet you guys, even if it's virtually, and help you with your 4-year plan and your classes for next year.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We'll see you soon in appointments. Bye, everybody.